Hi, this is Tranisha Cottrell. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I am so grateful to have you here on this journey of self discovery and empowerment. In today's video, we're going to be talking about vulnerability. Can you be vulnerable? But before we get started, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more uplifting content. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. So, what made me think about can you be vulnerable? I know some people are like, okay, where is she going with this? Every day she got a new topic. Yes, every day I'm learning something new. So, I got to share the knowledge. Whenever I learn something, I really feel like it's my duty to share everything that I learned throughout that day with everyone else. Whoever I can teach, I can show, I can let allow other people to learn from my missteps, from my mistakes, from the things that I learned throughout the day. I want people to actually take my knowledge of things and implement it in their life. And it doesn't mean that you have to do a cookie cutter version of the things that I've done, but you might be able to utilize that information and implement it in your life in the right way. And maybe you can avoid some things that may get in your way that has stopped me or that have stumbled me in the past, stifled a little bit of my growth instead of allowing me to just be on an upward trajectory. So, the first thing I wanted to say is in this season, I really feel like God has really been teaching me a lot about how to become more vulnerable. For those of you that have been following me for a while, you know I have had like a brick wall with an electric fence, metal barrier, and a guard over my heart to not allow any person in. And God really showed me in the beginning that is not the way to live. He told me that my blessings would be attached to a person and I wouldn't be able to receive the things, the blessings, the gifts, all of the goodness that God wants to give me in my life unless I allow the right people to be a part of it. I cannot I cannot section myself or isolate myself away from the world as a way for me to feel like I'm protecting myself. That is not protection. That is just me not doing anything with life. That's not me actually living the life that God intended for me to live. And in order for me to live my life abundantly, to live a life full of people that are supposed to be there, I have to let the right people in. So the first thing is I had to really acknowledge that vulnerability is not a weakness. Sometimes we like to feel like, oh my gosh, I can't be vulnerable because then, I'm just going to be broken. Somebody's going to get through and they're going to destroy me. They're going to break me. But let me tell you something about the broken pieces of your life. God could use every single piece that's been broken and use it for his benefit, for the glory of the kingdom. God can use everything, leaving nothing on the table, nothing at all. And that's one of the things I like to pray a lot is God use everything. Everything I learn, everything I go through, every trial, every tribulation, every storm, use all of it to benefit other people. If I can go through something, if I have to go through hurt or pain, but I can help my fellow sisters, my brothers, be able to make it through life in a better way than I did, then I want to take that hit for the people. I want to be able to utilize every skill that I've been taught, every lesson that I've learned to help God's people. That is my mission, my purpose is being able to show people a better way so that we could have healthy relationships, so that we could really not settle for less than God's best for us. Because sometimes life really makes us feel like we're not worthy, like we're not worth it, like we can't do all of the things that He intends for us to do, but we could do everything. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Always remember that. Never forget who and whose you are, because sometimes life will really try to tell you who they want you to be so that you never reach your full potential. Do not forget that we all emote. Sometimes we feel like if I'm vulnerable, if I cry, if I feel sad, then it's going to make me weak. No, let me tell you something. A man who is willing to feel his emotions, and I don't mean he just cries because he dropped a piece of paper, but a man who is willing to be vulnerable, who is willing to be emotion filled, is the most attractive thing that any man could ever do in this entire world. I don't know how other women feel because I always feel like I'm a little different. So, like, guys, don't quote me on that and then just go do that with all these other women because I don't know how they feel about that. But for me, When a guy can be vulnerable, when he can be emotional, when he can show his emotions, it really shows true strength. That means he's emotionally intelligent. That means that he's willing to be able to be vulnerable with you in that way. And then for me, because, I have had all those barriers and stuff up, it allows me to be a little bit vulnerable. It allows me to like let a few like barriers down instead of being like the brick wall with the locks and everything. I can be like, okay, those brick walls don't really need to be here in this moment. Let me just go ahead and guard my heart like the Bible says, but then release the barriers so that I can allow the right people to get in. Or have a fence there with like a little hook. Back in the day, you put the hook on the door so that you can open the hook and then allow the right people to come in. That's where I'm at in my life right now. I feel like I'm in the place where I know I have work to do, but I also feel like I'm way better than I used to be when I used to be like, oh no, no one can get in, stay away. Now I'm like, okay, I'm willing to allow people to show me who they are. Because, like Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. Because people can pretend to be a lot of things, but they can never fake being themselves for too long. People can go years, but there's glimpses, red flags of who this person actually is. So it's not like you'll never figure it out. You're gonna know eventually because every darkness comes to light. And so I always I always like to think of it that way. And the next thing you have to ask yourself, or you have to figure out, what is stopping you from letting the right person in? Are you are you afraid because of something that happened in the past, or do you just see so many broken relationships, so many toxic friendships that you feel like you could never have a loyal friend or a loyal person in your life? Be honest with yourself. Are you too afraid of being hurt that you never want to experience love again? Because TG said in one of his past videos that you will never experience love without hurt. And at first I was like, okay, really? Like that's giving me no hope right now. No, I'm just kidding, TG, if you ever see this. But I mean, it was really helpful because it allowed me to see that, yes, vulnerability is necessary for relationships. You're going to be a little vulnerable, especially when someone is getting to know you. But that does not mean that you just don't guard your heart. That does not mean that you just block off the right people, because you setting your standards and boundaries is going to help you be able to deter most of the people. I got rid of people so quickly, all jokes aside, but no, seriously, that like having the healthy standards and boundaries and being able to really be more emotionally intelligent allowed me to get rid of a lot of people who should have never been a part of my life in the first place. And I know some people feel like, oh my gosh, and it doesn't feel the greatest when it happens because you're like, oh my gosh, like once you get rid of all those people, it feels like nobody's left. But that's good because you never want to be with the wrong person anyways. You never want to allow the wrong people to be a part of your life, because having a bad relationship can be the difference between you being super successful in your life and happy with joy and peace, or you being miserable and stagnant, stuck in this place for 10 years. A relationship really can do that, which is why I'm surprised they don't teach emotional intelligence or relationships, like how to have healthy relationships in school, because they train you on everything else. You get trained on math, writing, reading, writing, arithmetic, right? And arithmetic, but you don't see them teaching emotional intelligence or relationships in school. I really feel like that needs to be a mandatory class. Finance and being able to have and learn how to have those healthy relationships in your life really should be a standard for school in order for you to graduate, because relationships is going to be something that's always there. You're either going to be in a friendship with someone for the rest of your life, or you're going to be with someone for the rest of your life. And how emotionally intelligent you are, how you act towards the other person, how you love yourself is going to show how you can love someone else. It's going to be the thing in your life that can really take you out. Like relationships are the thing that can hinder so many people, even the people who pretend to be the strongest. People with a broken heart, that pain that you feel when your heart is broken is unlike any physical pain that I've ever felt in my entire life. I don't know if everybody else has experienced that, but that is why I feel like it's so necessary to have it in schools, We need to be teaching kids at a young age so they know, like train them up in the way that they should go, so that they know how to love other people, how to love themselves, how to treat people. Because we act like it's common sense, but it's not really that common. That's why you see so many people that are rude, that are disrespectful, that don't treat people the right way because they don't know. Sometimes they really just go by what they learned growing up, or they've been hurt so badly they don't know that they need counseling, or they need to seek help so that they can actually deal with that in the right way, so that they don't hurt other people that don't deserve it. And I'm not saying even if a person deserves it, you should treat people that way, because I really feel like you should walk away if you get to that point. I also think that it's important for us to understand how to become more emotionally intelligent, to deal with our emotions the right way. The next thing, and the very last thing, is do due diligence. Before you get vulnerable with someone, before you allow friends, people into your life, really do your research. And I don't mean you got to do like this long, thorough thing and hire a private investigator and all of this other stuff. But what I mean is, you really got to check your source. You really got to check and see where this person's head is. You have to see if your friends are going to be pushing you forward or holding you back. You got to see if this person is going to actually make you want to do more in life, or if they're going to make you stagnant, or if they're going to hold you back, if they're going to be jealous of you moving on or being successful in your life. You really have to figure out if this person is going to add to your life. Are you both going to be able to bear fruit in each other's lives as friends, in a relationship, whatever else? You really have to do that. You have to be willing, because this is your livelihood. This is not just like a joke. People act like relationships is no big deal, like, oh well, it's just a relationship. Like, no, this relationship has the ability to break you or to help build you. And I don't mean build you like you need that person's collaboration in order to be successful or anything like that. But sometimes having the right person be a part of your life is the thing that can make the difference between you being a millionaire or being broke every day, living paycheck to paycheck. Like, seriously. And another thing I was going to say is, and ask God for discernment while you're doing due diligence. Because for me, when I'm making decisions when it comes to friendships, job opportunities, or relationships, I always check with God first. God, are you okay with this person? Is this person supposed to be a part of my life? And whether they're my kingdom spouse or they're teaching me something along the way, or they're a friendship that I have forever, or there's someone that comes in because we need to help each other, because we're going to learn from each other in this season. I ask God what the purpose is. What is my purpose in this person's life? I want to add fruit to my friends, my family members, and potential partners or people that I'm with. I want to always add to their life. I never want to take anything away from them. I want to add peace to their life. I want them to know who they are. Like, I want people to gain something when I am a part of their lives. I never want to take anything away. And so that is what letting the right person or being a good person in someone else's relationship looks like, in someone else's life looks like. And that is what allows other people to be more comfortable being vulnerable. Because when someone can trust you and you deem yourself trustworthy, it allows other people to be a little more vulnerable and open up to you as well. So, because this is a new season, in the comment section, put new season, because this is going to be the season of you allowing the right people into your life. I know it's not easy, especially when you've been hurt in the past, especially when you've been burned by friends, whatever else, but not every person is going to be like that friend. Not every relationship is going to be like that ex. You really have to trust your instinct, your intuition, use discernment. You really do have to understand that vulnerability is not a weakness, and guard your heart at all costs, like the Bible says. And I know some people feel like that's a contradiction, like guard your heart and be vulnerable. Listen, you following your heart is not the smartest thing. You following your mind, using discernment, and then allowing yourself to feel the feels is good. But don't just say, I fell in love. No, you choose to be with this person. You choose to have that friend. You choose to work at this job. You have choices in your life. Don't ever feel like you don't have a choice. Make sure you make the best decision for yourself that makes sense. Do not just do something because someone else told you to, or because you feel all of these weird butterfly, like, you on a roller coaster kind of flips, because that relationship might be up and down like this. So you got to really make sure that you listen to your intuition, listen to your gut, ask God for discernment, and allow yourself to be vulnerable with the right person. So give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, ooh, I got a little treat for you tomorrow. So tomorrow at 6 p.m., I will be doing a live with Coach Mika. Coach Mika is a amazing coach who really does and is as passionate as I am about helping the people. She really does care about helping people, allowing them to see their worth, and really truly loving themselves. So stay tuned for tomorrow, because it is going to be amazing. Like, you do not want to miss out on this. It is going to be such a blessing. That is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. I will see you guys tomorrow.